But let's work with what we have first. So I have here x squared minus 19x plus 1, and we have to figure out what is the solution of this equation, right? So how would we find out the solution of this problem here? So the first step, what we can do is we can find out if this is factorable, right? So let's figure out if this is factorable. So we have, it's going to be a product of a and c, right? So a here is 1 times 1 here is 1. So product is 1, has a sum to negative 19. In this case, none of my answers, none of my products, again, 1 times 1 is just 1, right? It will never sum to negative 19 here. So if it's not factorable, it means that I have to use the quadratic formula. So if you recall, quadratic formula equals, this is x equals negative b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. And then what we're going to do is we're going to simply just sub in these numbers here, right? We have here, this is our a value is our 1, b, and c, right? So what we can do is negative b is negative 19. So negative 19 means it's positive 19. So 19 plus or minus b squared is negative 19 squared minus 4 times a is 1 times c here is 1, right? All over 2 times 1, right, which is our a value here. So now this will give us, let's see, 19 plus or minus. So I'm going to simplify the stuff in the brackets first, or sorry, in the square root here. So 19 squared, give me a second, would be, or negative 19 squared would be 361. Minus 4 times 1 is simply just 4, all over 2. 2 times 1 here is 2, right? So that's okay. And then what we can do is 361 minus 4 would be 357. So this would simplify to 19 plus or minus square root of 357 all over 2. And now what we can do is we can split up this x into two parts, right? We have x1, would equal 19 plus 350 square root of 357 over 2, and then x2 would equal 19 minus 357 over 2. So let me solve for x1 first. So this would be 19 plus the square root of 357 over 2, which will give us a approximate value of, this is 18.95 is what I got here. Again, I can't really simplify this radically here any further. It's just going to give me 18.95. So I'm just going to give you a decimal in this case. And then I have 19 minus 357 divided by 2. And then I'm going to get something like 0.0528. And these two would be my answers for this problem. 18.95 and 0.0528 would be my solutions for this problem. And again, so what they did was, again, they also used quadratic formula or quadratic equation to solve for these problems here. And what they did was, so they solve this problem here. So it says they use also x equals negative b plus or minus the square b squared minus 4c all over 2a. That's great. So now they just subbed in their kind of questions here. So they have negative 19 plus or minus. Is this positive 19? Oh, I wrote the question wrong. Oh, I'm so sorry here. So I thought it was x squared equals, oh, it's x squared equals 19x. So sorry about that. Let me, give me a second here. I'll have to actually rearrange this formula here because I thought that was a positive sign. So that's my fault. So it's actually x squared equals 19x plus 1. So I actually have to move stuff to the other side here, or I can move x, I have to move this to the other side to equal 0. So x squared would equal, or would be negative 19x minus 1 here would be my equation here. So therefore this here is a negative 19 here, and then this would be negative 1 here for my c value, which would change basically this number here. This would be it would be now plus 4 here, right? So this would be plus 4. So 365. So this is a square root of would be 365, I believe. Yeah, 365. This would be the square root of 365, which means this one here is also 365. This one's 365 as well. 365 as well. And then finally, the decimals are going to change, right? So let me just give you a decimal for this one here. But these two are my solutions here. So this is 19 plus root 365 over 2. So this net value would be 19.05. And this one here would be 19 minus root 365, which would be negative 0.0525 here. So these two will be my solutions. So this solution here is correct. Negative 19 and positive 19. This is negative and this is negative here. Or give me a second. I don't know if I've actually plugged it in right. Sorry, this is not a decimal. I don't think this is the decimal here. I don't think I plugged in the negative. It's my bad. Lots of errors here today. So this is 0.05. So the first one here is correct. This is 0.05, 0525. And then this one, the second one, would be negative 19 minus minus 365, which would be negative 19.05. So that here is my correct answer for the solution. So this solution is correct, and the solution here is correct. So I'm going to say great solution and analysis.